New Mexico's National Guard tonight is getting ready to be sent to the state's biggest city. The governor sending them to Albuquerque to battle what officials are calling a crime emergency, in their words. This is kind of unusual because we often hear about the National Guard responding to things like natural disasters or maybe civil unrest. But the city's police chief and the mayor both say they need help tackling some other big problems.
Key to freeing up officers to fight crime and keep those statistics going in this powerfully good direction. We've got to have more civilians. And so a short-term way to help with that is by the National Guardsmen helping out.
So what are they going to be helping on? Things like the fentanyl crisis, a spike in violent crime, specifically among younger people there, and getting some work around the city's homeless population. Right now, 60 to 70 troops are being trained and will start patrolling in May. Ryan Chandler is covering this one for us. So, Ryan, I think people might have the question, what can the National Guard do here that the city's police cannot?
Yeah, Hallie, city leaders were careful to temper expectations a little bit about what the National Guard's actually going to do and what this is going to look like on the ground. Because I know when you hear the headline, crime emergency prompts the National Guard to come into a city, it could conjure up some images of, Humvees patrolling the streets and guardsmen in military fatigues. This is not what that is, Hallie. The mayor of Albuquerque, Tim Keller, explained it's going to be more of a logistical support role, doing things like securing crime scenes, transporting prisoners, even helping to hand out food to the homeless. But they're not going to be pulling people over or directly enforcing the law. They're going to free up manpower from the local police and leave that to them. Here's the Albuquerque police chief explaining that this is really just more about more hands on deck, not about martial law.
I just don't want this to turn into like oh my God, the National Guard is here to save the city. No, the National Guard is here to help clear up officers so APD officers can go out and be proactive and take more people to jail, keep the community safer, and continue this trend of lower crime rates.
So, Hallie, to give you an idea of some of the challenges that Albuquerque is facing, local officials expressed specific concern about fentanyl in their community. The local sheriff tells us that just since mid-February, they've made 400 fentanyl-related arrests and seized 2,700 fentanyl pills, again, in less than a month. They say 65% of the overdose deaths in the state are attributed to fentanyl. That's according to the most recent data from the state of New Mexico. Interestingly, though, this initiative with the National Guard is not tied to any specific dramatic increase in crime. In fact, violent crime and property crime have decreased in recent years, but they say they need more help from the National Guard on the fentanyl challenges.
There's also this question, Ryan, of precedent setting, right, for other states, other cities around the country?
Yeah, I mean, I think the precedent is already set. You see both Democratic and Republican governors who have leaned on the National Guard to supplement local police. Just late last year, you saw New York call in the National Guard to patrol the New York City subway system. And down in Texas, Governor Abbott has used almost 5,000 National Guard members over recent years to help patrol the border in an initiative known in Texas as Operation Lone Star. So you see across the political spectrum, governors using this option.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.